Welcome to the Wealthiest, where you will learn the ins and outs about the world's elite, how they live, and how they spend their accumulated wealth. Let's get started. The line and the Oxagon came first, followed by the Dubai Circle, and now a massive cube. Saudi Arabia unveiled the Mukaab earlier this month as its most recent project. It's a cube so large that 20 Empire State Buildings could fit inside of it. Referred to as a portal to another universe, according to Saudi Arabia, it has a holographic dome that transports guests away to other planets and fascinating worlds. So, will the Mukaab actually be completed? Or is this merely a viral marketing ploy? If so, when would it start to accept visitors? We'll look at everything we've observed so far in this video. To be honest, this is incredible. The new Mukaab district. The newest contribution to Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 is the cube. Although NEOM has received a lot of attention lately, Saudi Arabia doesn't want to overlook the other major cities in the country. Because of this, new Mukaab will be constructed in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Riyadh is already a city that is expanding quickly. It was a small village with fewer than 500,000 people 50 years ago, but today has more than 7 million people, making it the third largest megacity in the Middle East. According to Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi Crown Prince, the new Mukaab project will create the largest modernized downtown in the entire world. It is anticipated that this new district would accelerate Riyadh's expansion. More than 80 entertainment outlets, a number of walking routes, a sizable museum, and the enormous Mukaab itself will be located there. The structure will be referred to as the cube, since the Arabic word Mukaab means cube. After the line and the Oxagon, Saudi Arabia's megaprojects seem to have a trend of building basic geometric structures at larger-than-life scale. The new face of Riyadh has been referred to as the Mukaab. The cube's facade is designed in the tradition of Najdi architecture, which has been practiced by Saudi Arabians for centuries. Sunlight will reflect off the lovely surface, which will dominate Riyadh's skyline. This cube will be astounding in its size. It will officially be classified as a super tall skyscraper because it is 400 meters tall. It would be the fourth tallest structure in Dubai. The Mukaab, however, would entirely dominate the skyline because it is 400 meters broad in contrast to other skyscrapers. To put things into perspective, the Mukaab is large enough to fit 20 Empire State Buildings. It would be much larger than any current cube-shaped structures found elsewhere in the world. For instance, a remarkable office building in Germany is the Berlin Cube. Although it is eye-catching due to its mirror-like sides, it is just 40 meters tall. Thousands of them might fit inside the Mukaab. So, what will all of this space be utilized for? Inside the Mukaab cube is designed to make one feel as though you are entering another world. Above its visitors will be a massive dome that showcases various virtual realities. The purpose of these holographic displays is to give visitors to the Mukaab the impression that they are somewhere else entirely. You might be in the middle of the ocean in one instant and on Mars' surface or in a magical universe in another. It's intended to be a completely immersive experience unlike anything you've ever had. A spiral tower that rises from the floor to the roof and resembles an anthill or brackets of fungus will be located in the center of the dome. This tower is intended to be a high-end tourism attraction for visitors from all over the world. Also, it will include eateries, hotel accommodations, observation platforms, and movie theaters. The huge cube will then surround the tower and the dome. Also, the cube's four corners will be filled with facilities that are stacked in towers that resemble skyscrapers. Also, the top will be used to create man-made lakes, lawns, and trees. It depends if it makes sense or even if it is feasible to create a lake there. Now that is using your imagination. But is it even possible? The design of the Mukaab. But why is the Mukaab designed like a cube? The cube-shaped design of the Mukaab is, in the opinion of its creators, the best one for housing all the cutting-edge technologies that will enhance the entire experience. Although they haven't decided how they'll show the virtual worlds, the technology will need to be concealed in the area between the bell jar dome and the outside cube. To support the gardens on the top of the cube, there will also need to be a substantial array of joists and beams between the dome and the shell. The cube's corner towers, which resemble skyscrapers, will provide additional stability. If that's strong enough, the biggest roof on Earth could be supported. Also, the garden atop is questionable. It is included in the design, but at this stage it is unknown if it will be sustainable. The Mukaab is intended to become more recognizable because of its cube-shaped appearance. The Mukaab would provide Riyadh with a distinctive landmark that would help it stand out among other major cities throughout the globe. It is comparable to the Statue of Liberty in New York or the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Anybody who views a picture of the cube will immediately think up Riyadh in their minds. Nonetheless, there has been some feedback about the shape. According to some, it resembles the Kaaba in Mecca, another city in Saudi Arabia. A Muslim must face the Kaaba when praying wherever in the world because it is the religion's holiest place. Some, however, have questioned the similarity and noted that there are other cubes in the world besides the Kaaba. Nobody compared the Berlin cube to the Kaaba when it was constructed in Germany. Therefore, why should the Mukaab be any different? Some folks also noted that the Saudi ruler is Muslim. Thus, it stands to reason that they wouldn't intentionally construct a structure in the shape of the Kaaba. Therefore, the resemblance is most likely a coincidence. Definitely sounds amazing. Will the Mukaab be built? In general, enthusiasm, excitement, and mystery have followed the introduction of the Mukaab project, but everyone is wondering if the Mukaab will actually be constructed. Though it hasn't started yet, construction should get going within the coming months. In line with the other projects included in Vision 2030, such as the Line, Oxagon, and Trojan, Saudi Arabia has stated that the project will be completed and open to the public by the year 2030. This project is probably simpler to do than the Line. Nonetheless, it would still be the largest megaproject ever constructed. The outcome is therefore unpredictable. So, let's divide it into 3 distinct scenarios. The first possible scenario, which Saudi Arabia would undoubtedly appreciate the most, is that the cube's construction will begin in the next months and will be completed by 2030, as they have stated. Riyadh will have a new symbol and gradually draw travelers from all over the world to become one of the most popular travel destinations. I am sure it will create a buzz throughout the world, and Riyadh could potentially have a high influx of tourists to the cube. If everything seems too good to be true, there are many obstacles to overcome, which brings us to the second scenario. Financial professionals already have doubts about the project's viability. They are unable to predict where Saudi Arabia will get the money to fund yet another massive project. The finances of all of this are not completely secure, according to Dr. Andreas Krieg, a specialist in Middle Eastern studies at King's College London. CNN questioned the Public Investment Fund about the project's financing a few days after the Mukaab made their announcement. The Public Investment Fund responded that, although financial details had not yet been made public, further information would be made available soon. Foreign investment will play a major role. Saudi Arabia wants to pull in more than $100 billion annually by 2030, which would aid in funding initiatives like the Mukaab. They haven't reached that level yet, but if enough advertising can be created, international investment might start to increase quickly. Nevertheless, there is no assurance that it will happen. Amnesty International accused Vision 2030 of violating human rights, casting a negative light on the project and perhaps scaring away foreign investors. Even if Saudi Arabia succeeds in raising the funds, a considerably more challenging obstacle remains. Is this massive undertaking even technologically viable? Nevertheless, there is a third scenario. Perhaps the cube will someday be constructed, but in a scaled-down, less ambitious version. It might be shortened from 400 meters to 200 meters or less. It would still be the tallest cube-shaped structure in the world, even at 100 meters, making it a spectacular sight to behold. In comparison to the existing designs, it would be disappointing, but it would still be an accomplishment. I am hoping for Scenario 1. Uncertainty surrounds the future, but one thing is clear. It looks to be an interesting couple of years. The Mukaab, the Line, and other groundbreaking initiatives might welcome visitors when 2030 eventually arrives, or perhaps none of them will ever be completed. Do you feel this mega project is even possible? Which of the 3 scenarios sounds most favorable to you? Tell us in the comments section below. Cannot wait to see what 2030 will hold with these state-of-the-art massive projects. I hope you enjoyed the video. We appreciate your time and can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, dream big.